Welcome back, children. Myself, Sir Sunil, your chemistry teacher. Good morning, students. How are you all? Fine? I hope you all are fine and also you are enjoying these holidays. Okay? This year, a lucky year for you. You are getting a lot of holidays. Okay, a long period of holidays. Okay, one more thing I am going to remind you, in these holidays we have already started our online classes, and also we have completed here 2 units, and from these 2 units already I have given you the question answers and everything I have given. Okay, you have to study and you try to complete your copy work. If you are completing your copy work, your workload will be less when the school starts. Okay, students. So we are discussing these days our unit 3rd, elements, compounds and mixtures. From this topic, nowadays we are discussing the separation of mixtures, the separation of important components from the mixtures. So today I am going to start the method sublimation. So all of you take out your book and ready to watch the session. Okay, students, here is our topic, sublimation. Do you know anything about sublimation? Now you are studying in 7th class, okay, and 6th class I think already we have discussed this point. Clear? This point we have discussed. Okay, we can recall the sublimation now. Recall that in sublimation, a solid like ammonium chloride, iodine, naphthalene, camphor and all vaporizes without melting. Vaporizes without melting. Clear? In sublimation, the substances vaporizes without melting. Means it does not change to liquid. It directly changes to gases. Okay, students. The vapors of such a substance on being cooled directly form the solid. The solid directly changes to gas and gas directly changes to solid. It does not change to liquid. Okay, students. In ice, in case of ice, while we heat, what will happen to it? It will change to liquid first, then again if you are heating, it will change to vapor. But in sublimation case, what will happen to the substance? From solid to gas directly and gas to solid directly. Thus, by sublimation, a substance that sublimes can be separated from one that does not. For example, ammonium chloride can be separated from sand by this method. Ammonium chloride can be separated from sand. Suppose that if we are mixing ammonium chloride and sand, then sand and ammonium chloride can be separated by the basis of sublimation process. Because ammonium chloride is a sublimate, it will directly changes to gas. Okay, then sand will be remain back there. Okay, so this both can be separated very easily. So here is one experiment for this activity. Okay, mix some ammonium chloride with sand. Okay, here the arrangement should be done like this. Okay, this is a diagram for this experiment. Okay, understood, students? Just observe. Sublimation is used to separate ammonium chloride from sand. For this activity, we have to do the arrangement like this. We have to keep the arrangement like this. Okay, first of all we have to mix some ammonium chloride with sand and keep the mixture in a dish, in a china dish, like this, in a china dish. Cover the mixture with an inverted glass funnel. Okay, cover the mixture by an inverted glass funnel. Then what to do? And plug loosely the opening of the funnel with cotton, and plug loosely the opening of the funnel with the cotton. Okay, you can see here the diagram with cotton. Clear? It's a cotton here. Okay, students. Now what to do? Then heat the china dish gently on a wire gauze, and keep this arrangement on a wire gauze. Okay, already you have drawn, I told you last year and all. Okay, last year we have drawn the wire gauze and all. Okay, then here on the wire gauze you have to keep on the stand, you have to keep this arrangement, and later you have to light a candle or burner. Okay, then what will happen to ammonium chloride? Ammonium chloride sublimes and collects in the cotton and cooler part of the funnel, whereas sand remains in the dish. Ammonium chloride will be collected in the cotton or side of the funnel, and the sand will be remain back in the dish itself. Clear? Because ammonium chloride is a sublimate. It will, by heating, it will directly changes to vapor. Clear? And by cooling, it directly changes to solid. Clear? Now one more method, another important method that is new for you, we have not discussed earlier and all. It's a chromatography method. Chromatography, it's very important and you have to listen carefully. Okay, then this technique, this chromatography technique, okay students, chromatography, this technique is used. What is the use of chromatography technique? Okay, this technique is used when all the components of a mixture are soluble. Clear? Are soluble in a solvent. The chromatography technique will be used when all the components of a mixture are soluble in a solvent. When all the mixtures are soluble in solvent. For example, the coloring substances called pigments. The coloring substances are called pigments. Okay, pigments are called coloring substances. This the coloring substances of a flower or an ink can be separated by this method. It can be separated by this method, means by the chromatography method. Chromatography is used or is based on the principle of adsorption. Chromatography is based on the principle adsorption. Clear? Not AB, absorption. Okay, not absorption, adsorption. Okay, AD. Chromatography method is based on the principle adsorption. Okay students, in adsorption, a substance may be solid, liquid or gas called absorbate. Clear? In adsorption, a substance called an absorbate forms a layer on the surface of another substance. Adsorbate forms a layer on the surface of another substance, usually called salt, called adsorbent. Okay, here are 2-3 words new for you. Chromatography already new for you. That adsorption, that adsorbate and adsorbent. Okay students, mark and keep. In adsorption, a substance called an adsorbate forms a layer on the surface of another substance called an adsorbent. Generally, alumina means aluminium oxide, silica, silicon dioxide, or cellulose in the form of powder or paper. Cellulose in the form of powder or paper is used as an adsorbent. Generally, what are the things we are using as an adsorbent? Aluminum oxide, silicon oxide, or or cellulose. Clear? These three are generally we are using as a adsorbent. Okay students, the technique using paper. For this technique, one special type of paper we are using, that is called chromatographic paper. Clear? The paper which we are using for the chromatography process, that is called chromatographic paper. That is called a chromatographic paper. Then this process is called paper chromatography. The process which we are using the chromatographic paper for the chromatography is called paper chromatography. Okay students, paper chromatography. You have seen that a liquid spreads over a blotting paper, or a filter paper as it gets absorbed by the paper. Maybe you have seen that a liquid spreads over a blotting paper or a filter paper as it gets absorbed by the paper. If you are keeping one filter paper, clear, on the ink and all, it absorbs the ink. Maybe you have seen. The principle of separation by this technique is easy to understand. The principle of this separation, that is very easy to understand. Clear? When you place a solution, a mixture over an adsorbent, the different components of the mixture get. Okay, see here you can see. Then maybe you have observed this activity. Okay, this process. Clear? You see this process. Clear? And if when you place a solution of mixture over an adsorbent, the different components of the mixture get absorbed to the different extents. So they move with different speeds on the surface of the adsorbent. Thus the components get separated. Remember that it is the solvent that drives the solute on the adsorbent. Example, the chromatographic paper. So the solvent has to be properly selected. Selected. Why? Because it is a solvent that drives the solute on the adsorbent. It is generally a mixture of liquids. Example, a water alcohol mixture, or water acetone, or alcohol acetone, or water alcohol acetone mixture chosen by trial and error. The adsorbent is called the stationary phase. Actually, the adsorbent which we are using for this technique, that is called the stationary phase. Stationary. It is still position. And the solution, the mobile phase. So two phases are there for this process. The adsorbent is called the stationary phase and the solution is called the mobile phase. The band of colors obtained on the paper is called chromatogram. The band of colors obtained on the paper, that is called a chromatogram. We have seen one band of colors here in the diagram. Okay, I told you you can see here band of colors here. It's a sketch pen ink. While this paper absorbs, this chromatography paper absorbs the ink of the sketch pen, its color will be divided by different colors. This color will be different. This yellow we can see, blue we can see, and green we can see. Okay, like that it will change. Okay, students. So by performing this activity, by performing the following activity, you can separate the coloring agents of the ink of sketch pen or marker. For this activity, what to do first? Cut a long rectangular piece of filter paper. You have to take one filter paper or paper napkin. It's very easy to understand. Paper napkin or filter paper, you take, cut a piece. Keep the tip of your pen. Keep the tip of your pen for a while at a point about a centimeter from one end of the paper. So keep a sketch pen or ink pen to this paper for some time. The paper will soak ink. What will happen? The paper will absorb the ink or soak the ink. Let the ink dry. Let the ink to dry. Let the ink to dry. Now hang this paper. Now hang this paper with the help of a clip. You can, okay, here we can see in the diagram you can see here. Okay, use the clip, clear, and hang this paper somewhere else. Okay, so at the end of the paper should just touch the water. Okay, later the end of the paper should just touch the water. Leave the setup undisturbed for some time. Within a few minutes, you will observe that different colors have separate charge out on the filter paper. After some time, you can see that the different colors contained in that particular ink will be separated on the filter paper itself. For certain inks, you may get an unexpected color also. For certain inks, you may get an unexpected color also. Then by seeing, maybe it is green, but by doing this activity, we can see the different colors on the filter paper. So see that you get from the ink of green sketch pen, for instance, the two colored substances blue and yellow making up the green. Okay, you can see that from green we will get two colors, blue and yellow color. It's yellow, Y for yellow and B for blue. Clear? From the green ink we will get B and Y, means B for blue and Y for yellow. So we can say that green color is formed by the two colors blue and yellow. Okay, students. Now we can discuss a summary of the separation methods. Okay, a summary of the separation methods. So it's a time. Okay, it's a time to wind up today's session, today's discussion. Okay, students, I hope that you understood every points which we have discussed today. If you have any doubts, I am with you, and when the class starts, you can ask the doubts directly to me. So to ask the doubts, what to do? You have to read the chapter 2-3 times today itself. Okay, today itself, or tomorrow. By tomorrow, you have to complete your reading, and then only you will get if you are reading the chapter only, you will get the doubts. Okay, those who don't have the doubts, maybe they understood the topic, otherwise they are not reading. Okay, so I am going to wind up today, and also one more thing I am going to remind you, you have to complete your copy work, start to complete your copy work. Okay, if it is possible. So it will make your workload less when the class starts. Okay, so goodbye and have a nice day.